Uh, let's say I've met a few years ago a man that changed completely my vision about photography, in a sense that he taught me how to see the world in black and white. And he explained it to me, and I remember I found funny when he was saying that animals, they can only see in black and white. They're not able to see colors. And that really impressed me because I never heard before about. And I started to think, and then at that time I was about to organize one exhibition abroad. That happens in Paris. And I was about to organize this exhibition, as I say. And then I started to ask my colleagues and some people around, how about the choice, color or black and white? And then I printed the same matter in color and in black and white. And I started to question those people. It was very difficult for me because I realized that people, it's a kind of, they say, why this girl, she's young and we are in, 21st century, yeah? And why is that happen? And in this girl mind, why she got this kind of questions? Why brings back black and white something old, something that it belongs from the past? But at that moment also, I studied in Paris photography, and then in the school, that people, they owned a little part of the house that used to belong from the father of the photography, Nicéphore Nips, when he discovered photography in 1827. And that house, and these people from the school, they promote some sightseeing during the year for the students. And I've been there three times. And it's very interesting. And then also the concept black and white, because it brings to light the real concept of photography. Because at that time, we didn't have color yet. And then in that sense, I do have a mentor. But let's talk about subject. Subject matter, I am quite independent. I do question people about, how do you think about this picture or about that one? How do you think about this background or about this foreground? How do you think about... But I do not listen much. I just question because I like to see reactions. Also, people teach me about my own photography. What am I doing? Through my questions, through the answers, I get some knowledge about. But does not mean that I really listen to them. And in this sense, I do not have mentor. I'm independent. Let's say that I'm flexible. I started to feel guilty. I started to feel guilty some time ago when people start to bring to light this big issue. And when I say issue, it's because I much feel that individuals do not want to face this reality. When we do not want to face one reality, obviously we will face one issue. Because if you do not want to face what's happened, and then things start to become bigger, if you do not treat one disease, this disease will become bigger and perhaps will kill you. I see things in this way. And I start to feel guilt through my photography because to express things that I see by using the subject matter, by using equipments, cameras, films. I only use films. I do not shoot in digital. And by using all these tools to express my feelings and to spread my message to others and even to myself, I compromise the health of the earth. It depends. First of all, I make a little map in mind And when I set up this map, I start to put the matters in there. And then after that, I work out as in a background. How should be presented this background? Foreground would be the subject, right? And then the background, I start to figure out how could be. And then by feeling, I go out, I see magazines, newspapers, and sometimes televisions, and then through that I choose. However, I do prefer natural light. However, I'm not sure I'm good on that. I try to do my best. But I do use tungsten quite a lot. And I used to do in the past. I studied as a studio photography, and I did portraiting as well. And I used lights at that time. Concern about digital and digital.
Yeah, digital or
Analog. Of course, analog. But at the same time, I would be hypocrite if I say that, of course, analog, yes, has a choice. It is the real photography to me. It represents the concept of photography. Then I would say analog. But in terms of save our planet, I would say no one. No analogic, neither digital. They both are not the concept that goes together with nature. No, it's opposite. They goes against nature. I'm not sure digital is much easy to manipulate. I would say that today, in nowadays, digital is much more well presented, and information it comes in numerous way, and then it's easier to get the information, and also it's much less costly, and digital invade the market in a way that every single day different kinds of cameras, and people they on the street it's easy for them to manipulate because they have access is much more easy. In the past it didn't happen in this way with analog. I would either say that there are some pictures that I never could photograph. I've seen situations that passed in front of me, and for one reason or other, I couldn't catch that moment. And there are the moments that they are precious and I could never catch. And then sometimes it comes in mind that moments, but I could never catch them. Example, I seen a lady another day in one country, and she was passing a bicycle something, and then it was very quickly because I was in a car. I holded my camera at that moment. I couldn't photograph her. It was a beautiful moment. The load, right? The title already says itself. It's something very heavy. I started to realize that things going bad, and in a sense that people do not really realize that all our consumptions it creates generation, and this generation do not go anywhere apart from stay inert somewhere. And I much feel that individuals they do not care enough. They do not care enough for the earth, for the nature, because they just imply um, do not see the situation that happens. Kind of maybe piles of garbage, or maybe some smoke spreaded going into the atmosphere, or maybe even some noise pollution, that all created by humans. And that's why the load, it's something have not to see, but to accept that it is a reality. I do feel that humans, we are not very comfortable to accept this reality, that we are the creators. Situations do not exist by itself. If they're there, someone make it happen. And this someone, obviously, it's human beings. We are the creators for this situation. And then I do believe much that if we create a problem, we must find out the solution. It has come a time to hold hands, join hands if you want, and start to do something before it's too late. Why did I choose India? I was in India last year, in February last year, and obviously I didn't come here to do this kind of documentation. But my eye started to see and document itself naturally, in a natural way. Things are so obvious. And at that moment, I had a wake-up call. I started to look, to search some information in the media, as I am addicted to newspapers, and sadly, I realized that there were not enough information to people. Individuals do not access much information regarding environmental issues. And then I decided at that moment that media should talk a little bit more. And I started that documentation, photography documentation, and I took a few months. I went around India, and I did south, north, east, west. And this book came out. I organized a few exhibitions, all black and white and analog. I've been much criticized. I felt glad at the moment when media, when I saw some articles in the newspapers, and that really fulfilled me, in the sense that, because before I felt a bit empty. When, as I said, I questioned myself, why media do not act more effective? I do believe that if someone are able to make a change, these people, they are definitely media. Because when the moment that media start to talk, but really talk constantly, they can make things happen. Let's put in this way. We have a plate, we have still image, which is photography. We have writing, which is information. And we have fiction, right? Fiction, it would be image in movement, images in action, but at the same time, image that has been created. First of all, the project I'm into at the moment is not only fiction. It is a combination documenting and fiction. That's one thing should be clarified in here. Secondly, I do not see they are two parallel. Because if you see photography, when happens in 1827, the first still photography presented to the world, and if you see the first images in movement presented in 1895 through the Frères Lumière in Paris, you will understand that these people, that images in movement, they came from the fixed image. From decades ago, And then they walked and they came in 1895 to that images in movement. Then is a process in development. They are not parallel itself. They are just progressive. That's I think this way. Concern fiction. Fiction, it is in a sense image because fiction is still reality. An actor, let's see, an actor is in there. This actor exists itself. It's a person, it's an individual. He talks, he see, he acting. I just will tell him what to say, how to see, how to act. In that moment it will be fiction. But he is real. And all his feelings is real. Then it's a kind of reality going to surreal. They are not parallel. They are a progressive way. I see in this way things. I love Kerala very much. And one thing in here that I like very much is when I fly and then when I see, when I come close to land, and I look through the window, and when I see the beautiful palm trees, the green, the beautiful, I feel so peaceful. I am engaged in a 50 minutes docufiction, black and white, which I'm proud of it, in the sense that I am behind of this script, and this script brings to light some situations that shows no transparency. By using fiction, I can introduce to spectators some realities that is being created by a small portion of the society that believes, they think that they can manipulate lives on earth. In that way, I found by using fiction would be much easier to introduce the concept of this idea, which is not really a belief, but there are some suspicions on that, suspicious on that. Our group from Kerala is absolutely very engaged, and I do feel that they are quite curious what's going to happen, because until now they are not quite sure what's the end, what's the climax, and I feel that they are in that tense, quite tense. I do like to present my associate directors, Girish Kuni and Manoj Ganesh, people that they assist me, and they are amazing, very responsible. They are in there, they really support me. Cameraman Krishna Kumar and Siri Kumar, they really understood the concept, and they could bring the right frames. And I really appreciate that. I would say thank you to them. Also Saji, which is a magician on the editing. I'm real proud of him. And my executive production that really assisted me in whole way that executive production can do, which is JEG Productions in Trivandrum. And the actors, final actors, they acted in a brilliant way. They are mainly from Kerala, but we have some foreigners, and among them I am included by accident. It happens a situation that we were there, we waited for the person, the character. She never came, and then I said, okay, I will do it. And then after that, I had to carry on. And my character, it's quite ambiguous because she's nothing to do with my personality and reality. And it's very interesting play this character, because I would never do this kind of things that Caroline, my character, her name is Caroline, she is doing. She's acting in a way that she's completely against to save the planet or anything like that. She's very ambitious lady, and she's planning to consume more and more all natural resources and build up a station and finally go to the space and live there safely. She do believe, has her team believe, they are a strong and powerful team. They believe that Earth is going to collapse, and they build up in the house outside of the Earth. In this way, things going. And I would like to present a person that plays with me. Her character is Mary, and in real life she's Pat. She's from England, and I'm very proud of her. She's act with Caroline in there.
Well, Mary is an executive to the Aaron Foundation, and that is the organisation that, as the documentary goes through, it proves that there is so much lack of transparency going on. And as the movie progresses, Mary starts to have her doubts. She's starting to move from one side to the other, and I think that's what I like about it, because she was learning, hang on, what's going on here? People aren't telling the truth, which is exactly what does go on in real life. So, as I say, I enjoyed the character because of that.
I've seen a group of young people holding the cameras, and I could see, was evident through the expressions. They were so proud and so much interested in what they're doing. They learn photography, and eventually they will become photographers in the future. They will become responsible people. No, they will become a people responsible to bring to light information, right? Perhaps they will be photo reporters, photojournalists. But that impresses me. I feel that that's beautiful. At the same time, concern environment issues, concern the health, life of the earth, I feel that people, they are in an illusion. Unfortunately, in our days, I do not see much space for photography, in the sense that much space that you are doing photography, you present your work, you express your work by using the tools of photography, but by doing this, you are compromise the life of the entire planet. And then I do feel that some concept of responsibility must be in there. And then why I'm saying that? Because if this concept is not in there, things will be worse. I do believe that these people, that young people that I've seen, and I got in mind, every single day comes to mind that people so proud with what they're doing. I do believe that they could either than only want to learn how to take in pictures, they could go further than that and try to understand the concept of create cameras and try to start doing researches and try to create create a way, develop a way to express photography by using natural tools. How it could be. I am not in here to give this answer, but I got these questions. I would love to see young people that they are going to photography today. they would be more interested in create a new concept of how to photograph by be friendly to nature, to not destroy Mother Earth.